All right, folks, welcome to the channel. Always an honor and a privilege to be with you. I hope you're all doing great. Buckle up and strap in. I got a hard-hitting pull no punches, no sugarcoating it, no rainbows or sunshine. I'm just going to give it to you and give it to you straight. And friends, we got a good one to unpackage today. This is getting insane. We're going to look at property today because this is the real estate channel. Whew, insane. I laugh at myself as I try to unpackage this stuff and wrap my head around what I'm about to do for you guys today. So the realities are, friends, we're going to continue to monitor and heat map the U.S. housing market, because once we lose it, we're going to lose everything. This whole thing will collapse on itself. This was built on a house of cards, pumped up artificial economy, pumped up artificial housing market. The air is coming out. The reverse course has started. It's no longer a question if this was a housing bubble or not. It clearly was a bubble. A lot of people still in denial. Of course they are. They just bought at the height of this bubble. They need to defend their purchase. Understand, we're going to help people no matter where they're at. That's our commitment to everybody as human beings. We got to help people. But I don't like to see ignorance, and I don't like to see people blinded by the industry trying to paint some narrative of it's all rainbows and sunshine when it clearly is not. So one of the things that I like to do when looking at property is checking property's rent ranges, seeing where this property's mortgage payment would lie if you're going to have a mortgage versus how much it would cost to rent. And we've looked at a lot of properties on this channel where they're just too far off. The cost to own the properties is way above what the cost to rent is. And there's only one time there's only one time where renting makes more sense than owning. It's in a real estate downturn. That's why you see so many people on the sidelines. They're not buying right now. It's the one time it makes more sense to rent than own in a downturn. Of course, in a rising market, then it makes more sense to buy. So the $1 million question now is buy alerts. Where are our buy alerts? How can we identify buy alerts? And we're getting really close. But today we're going to take a look at a home because I really want you guys to be able to do the same thing. We're going to utilize Zillow, which you should all have access to. And I think the biggest way to identify buy alerts is to take a look at a property and see what would based on its price currently, what's your cost to own if you're going to just do a typical down payment and pull a mortgage on it, even at today's interest rates. What's your cost to own? And then what's that property rent for? What's the area rents? Zillow's pretty good about identifying the area rents. Area rents really identify the quality of a neighborhood, the health of their real estate market. You always want to know what properties' rent ranges are. Most people, especially the 10 million people that bought in the height of the bubble, they didn't check that. How do I know that, you ask? Because I'm a realtor that's helped a lot of people buy throughout the pandemic and prior to the pandemic, and I would never hear that come out of people's mouths unless they were investors. But first-time home buyers just don't know this. So this is really, I believe, very basic information, but probably the most paramount critical information that any of us can help others with or utilize on our own. So today we're going to take a look at a property, and this is the front end. We're just seeing properties start to do this, but this trend will continue, and it's going to be a really good tool, a really good metric if you're considering helping yourself or others buy property, what they should do. Number one thing they can do right now and start looking at as they start to decide if this is something they want to do or not. So let's go ahead and roll this property. We're going to take a trip over to Detroit, Michigan. Then we'll meet back here and wrap it up. Let's get started. All right, friends, welcome to beautiful Detroit, Michigan. Let's head over to our property. And here we go, courtesy of Zillow. Let's bring up our crash map. Everything here is in fact going through price reductions. And here's our property sitting on the market currently at $80,000. Not a bad looking area, decent little lot. Definitely needs some TLC, but what can you expect at the price we're about to reveal? And Detroit, Michigan is in fact one of the areas that got hit very hard in the last real estate bubble, and they're going through it again. And here we go at currently $80,000. This property is on the market and available. And as we can see, they say it's a great opportunity to rehab a single family home in Core City. This 4-bedroom home sits on a double lot that's 0.1 acres. Let's take a look at the area's current value range. It puts this property around $95,700. We're on the market at $80,000. We're getting close, but we would of course write in a few more price reductions, probably something closer to $70,000 is my guess, if not even less. Now, let's push forward a little further. And here we go, our estimated monthly payment around $500 a month if you were to give them their $80,000 most recent price reduction price. And its rent range is close to $1,500 a month for properties in the area. You could own this house for much less than what it would rent for. Now we're seeing what's happening in Detroit. Let's get back to the studio and wrap this one up. All right, friends, welcome back. So that's what's going on in Detroit, Michigan. Whew, and saying this stuff, I laugh at myself. So the realities are this, friends. This is what, listen, I mean, let's just take this property we just looked at. It's on the market for 80 grand. You probably get it for 50 grand, really. I mean, they're clearly ready to get this thing off their books. I don't know what, that we could dig a lot deeper. The reality is what I wanted to look at their current price of $80,000. Your payment's around $500 a month. Grab 4 partners, right? You're $125 a month to own some real estate. Its rent range was pushing $1,500 a month. That's almost $1,000 a month cash flow. That's $250 a month each. Do this a handful of times, you're going to become self-sufficient in real estate. This is how it's done. This has been my experience. Partners, get into some real estate, buy it, hold it, minimize risk so you don't deplete your savings account doing it. But listen, that was pretty easy stuff. You could own that house for very little. Now, this particular house needed some work. It needed some work. And that's fine. I think it's very important, as long as somebody, if not every one of you in your real estate investment group has the ability and know how to get in there and make that happen, you can fix that place up, put a renter in there, and start cash flowing, and you do it again. I think it's a little too early right now. I think there's going to be more properties like this that need less work, if any at all, for about the same price index. People are dropping like flies. People are more concerned about paying their bills than investing. Reverse FOMO and reverse herd mentality is sweeping the nation as a recession now dominates. People are going to recess. They're going to be afraid to go invest in anything, even the real estate. And we've heard very few stories from the last real estate bubble where people bought at the bottom because of what I just talked about. It's only going to be for the people that are mentally strong, centered and surrounded with like-minded people, where iron will sharpen iron. I like to minimize risk. I think you should too. You never want to put all your eggs in one basket. That's stupid. I think the smartest thing to do is go test the waters, minimizing risk, have a partner or 2 or 3 or 4, however many it takes, to minimize the risk to levels that you want to see, to put your pinky toe into this environment. You'll never time the bottom perfectly. We've timed the top. Clearly, we're trending the opposite direction. We've timed the top of the biggest bubble ever produced. That we've done. But I believe now we are now on borrowed time. The clock is ticking, and we're already seeing properties display the type of numbers that we need to see in order to make them pencil out as good investment properties. It's when our cost to own is below the property's rent range. In final thoughts, I come to you as a friend, as a content creator. Somebody wants to see you not only win in real estate, win in life. Understanding the biggest housing bubble ever produced in world history has in fact reversed course. It now is a race against time. The clock is ticking. You're going to start seeing properties like the one we saw today display what you need to see in order to have it make sense to go invest in this real estate market. It's only going to be for the people that are, like I said, mentally conditioned to be able to do this. Like I say, centered and surrounded with like-minded people. It'll be less scary. You'll be less like a deer in the headlights. You'll be less paralyzed by fear. It's not only what we want, it's in fact what we deserve. If you appreciate the content, I want to humbly ask you to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below. I would love to hear from you. Social media links are in the description of this video if you'd like to follow me there, along with links to channels I've appeared on I think you might enjoy. If you're interested in buying or selling real estate here in America, I have the biggest network of top-rated agents in the nation ready to assist you. It would be our honor and our privilege to do so. If you're watching from your television set today and you enjoyed this video, I know you're going to love the next video, and there's an easy subscribe icon for your convenience. As always, thank you for your time. Please go make it count today. I'll see you on the next video.